On the London Underground, life is never dull. At Brixton Station, passengers have reached their breaking point. Years of renovations, endless delays, and persisting technical issues have tested their patience to the limit. It feels like this station will never, ever, ever be finished, groans one weary commuter. Her sigh echoes the sentiments of many who bustle through Brixton's crowded ticket hall each day. Meanwhile, several miles away, at the futuristic Canary Wharf station, a gleaming cathedral of commerce buried beneath London's soaring glass towers, station manager Jason Collins is steeling himself for a very important visitor. He's already running on fumes, having taken just 2 days off in the last 6 weeks to meet an immovable deadline. Soon, the Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone, will arrive to inaugurate the station's new eastern entrance. Jason desperately hopes everything runs smoothly. "Welcome to Canary Wharf Station," he jokes nervously. "I think I need a cigarette now." London's Underground boasts 275 stations, each with its own quirks and character. Some are peaceful suburban retreats, serving just a handful of passengers per hour, while others swarm with up to 28,000 travellers in the same time. With such diversity comes unpredictable chaos for staff, who must handle everything from late-night revelers to construction headaches, all while keeping this sprawling century-old network running. At Brixton, one of the busiest spots on the Victoria Line, staff face unique challenges. Iconic concerts at the Brixton Academy bring huge surges of passengers, and with them, unwelcome ticket touts hoping to profit illegally from the crowds. Station supervisor Monte Montero, a seasoned professional with decades of experience, prepares himself for another evening of trouble. "When there's a concert," Monte explains, "you'll have 5 or 6 touts lurking by the boogie hole, the corridor leading to platforms. They also hang around on the platforms, trying to sell tickets." Station assistant Mandy Sahota, who has been at Brixton for 2.5 years, describes the environment as tough. "It's quite a rough station," she says. "We get a lot of abuse. People can be rude and threaten violence. Some even say they'll meet you after work. But that's just life on the tube. You develop a thick skin." Monte, too, has learned to stand his ground. He knows how to handle the touts without getting too close. "If they're drunk, they can get aggressive," he explains, wisely keeping arm's length. "You never know when you might get punched." But touts are just the tip of Brixton's iceberg. The station's colossal 26 million refurbishment, which was supposed to take 2 or 3 years, has dragged on for more than 4. Problems arose like stubborn weeds. The main staircases had to be rebuilt from scratch. The ticket hall's ceiling turned out to be contaminated with asbestos, and recurring power supply issues have prevented the fancy new escalator from running. It's a litany of frustrations that would try anyone's patience. Group station manager Paul Jessard oversees the seemingly endless project from a cramped office behind the station. He's weathered countless complaints from passengers fed up with navigating half-finished corridors and closed-off areas. "People want to kill me and throw me down the escalator that isn't even open yet," Paul half jokes. "I take the ups and downs. It comes with the territory." A commuter demands to know when it'll finally end. "May 2005, Paul offers optimistically, handing out a leaflet. The passenger scoffs. It feels like this station will never, ever, ever be finished. Paul stands firm. "We really are almost at the end. Seeing is believing." In stark contrast, Canary Wharf Station gleams with corporate polish. It's the Underground's flagship, serving the financial heart of London. If most stations are functional chapels, Canary Wharf is a modern cathedral, a soaring space of concrete, steel and glass. Jason Collins, a 31-year-old Irishman, radiates pride and determination as he prepares to open the east end of the station, which has never welcomed a single passenger until now. 3 new entrances, 9 brand new escalators, and a tidal wave of new commuters from the soon-to-be-occupied Barclays headquarters tower overhead. 6,000 workers are set to start soon, and the pressure is on Jason to deliver. "If we don't open in time for Barclays, I'm sure Mr. Barclay won't be happy," he quips. That's 36 stories of pressure. I can feel the weight. Back at Brixton, staff like Monty have developed a wry sense of humour. Delays are normal, promises rarely kept. They say next week. I say which week? Monty laughs. In London Underground terms, next week might mean next month. What's more, Brixton's new escalator sits idle due to insufficient power. Just another broken promise, another rough edge in a supposedly finished project. Paul bet his boss 6 cans of Coke that the escalator wouldn't be done on time. So far, he's looking likely to claim his prize. For a moment, consider Aldwych Station, one of 43 abandoned stops on the network. It closed in 1994, its lifts needing millions in repairs and too few passengers to justify them. Now it's a time capsule, occasionally opened for filming or special events. Supervisor Barry Wilkinson cherishes Aldwych's quiet dignity, showing it to a pair of TV researchers interested in its wartime history. During the Blitz, people sheltered here. It's said the Elgin marbles were hidden on the other platform. Its tunnels evoke a haunting nostalgia, rumoured to be haunted by a long-dead leading lady of the stage. At Canary Wharf, the clock ticks down. Tomorrow, inspectors arrive to decide if Jason can open the East End on time. He paces the concourse, worried about last-minute snags. The ticket gates malfunction, forcing a midnight scramble by software engineers to get them running. Tools, hazard tape and leftover building materials clutter the supposed showpiece entrances. Jason's nerves stretch taut. "Failure isn't an option," he says grimly. But after a 4-hour inspection the next day, the inspectors grant approval. Jason's exhausted face breaks into a relieved grin. He'll celebrate later. Maybe basketball and a beer will help it sink in. The East End is a go. Brixton's escalator finally springs to life weeks later. Paul rides it with disbelief. "I never thought I'd see it running," he says. "It's smooth as silk. Maybe I can have tea on it." But barely a week passes before the station's 3rd escalator breaks down again. Monty sighs, shaking his head. In nearly 3 decades of service, he knows better than to expect perfection. And at Aldwych, Barry hosts a private party for a photographic agency. Guests marvel at vintage posters, echoing corridors and long-defunct platforms. Plays, book launches, even weddings have been hosted here. Barry beams with pride. This quiet corner of the underground thrives as a cultural secret. Late at Brixton, alcohol-soaked passengers slump on final trains. Staff have their methods, gentle nudges, pinches on the ear, to wake them up before pickpockets strike. Sleepy drunks, sputtering escalators, ticket touts, and furious commuters, just another day's tapestry on the underground. At last, Canary Wharf's big day arrives. Ken Livingstone, the mayor himself, appears to cut the metaphorical ribbon by switching on a glistening new escalator. Jason hovers anxiously. Everything works. The managing director compliments Jason, who flushes with relief. Canary Wharf's East End is officially open. Yet London Underground is never settled. Just a week later, another challenge might pop up. Somewhere a bomb scare at Cockfosters, a mechanical failure on the Piccadilly line, or a line closure might plunge staff into chaos again. As one senior figure remarks, "In this job, you learn to expect anything. It's the underground way." Next time, engineers sweat under the Piccadilly line's punishing heat, and a suspicious package rattles Cockfoster's staff. The underground's drama, like the city above it, never rests.